got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Welcome back to Choco Cinema, the show where every Monday we take a deep dive into a film from a specific genre, and this month we're stepping into the dusty streets, smoky bars, and violent frontiers of classic Clint Eastwood cinema. Today's film is one that helped redefine the action genre, sparked some controversy, and created one of the most iconic characters in movie history. That film is Dirty Harry. It's a film that gave us one of the most quoted lines ever put to screen.
Ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Even if you've never seen the movie, you've heard that line. Dirty Harry didn't just introduce a character, it introduced an attitude. It's the story of a cop who doesn't play by the rules, a killer who terrorizes the city, and a justice system that feels like it's always one step behind. But beneath the famous quotes and gunfights, there's a film wrestling with something deeper. It's fear, law, and the cost of justice. Released in 1971, Dirty Harry was directed by Don Siegel and starred Clint Eastwood as Inspector Harry Callahan of the San Francisco Police Department. At the time, America was going through a turbulent era. Crime rates were rising, cities were struggling with violence, and public trust in institutions were beginning to crack. Movies started reflecting that same tension. Instead of clean-cut heroes, audiences were seeing flawed, angry protagonists who operated in morally gray areas, and Harry Callahan became the embodiment of that shift.
Drop the fucking gun! Huh?
The plot is pretty simple, but it's also effective. A serial killer known as Scorpio begins terrorizing San Francisco, sniping random victims, and demanding ransom money from the city. Harry Callahan is assigned to track him down, but as the investigation unfolds, Harry runs into a constant obstacle, the legal system. Evidence gets thrown out, procedures slow things down, bureaucracy ties everyone's hands, meanwhile Scorpio keeps on killing. So the film asks a provocative question. What happens when the system designed to protect people starts failing them? Clint Eastwood is the entire engine of this movie. By 1971, he was already famous for The Man with No Name, roles in Sergio Leone's westerns. But Dirty Harry takes that quiet, intimidating persona and drops into a modern city. Harry Callahan doesn't talk much, and when he walks into a room, you can feel the tension immediately. Eastwood plays him like a force of nature. He's very controlled, cold, but always simmering something under the surface. And that restraint makes every moment of this character and of the violence hit harder. A hero is only as good as the villain he faces, and Scorpio is one of the creepiest antagonists of the 1970s. Played by Andrew Robinson, Scorpio feels very unpredictable and very chaotic. He laughs at the police, he taunts the city. He isn't trying to prove a point, he just wants control. What makes the character especially unsettling is that he was loosely inspired by the Zodiac Killer, who was also active in California during the late 1960s. That real-world connection adds an extra layer of dread to the film. Stylistically, Dirty Harry feels very gritty and grounded, feels very dirty, if you would. San Francisco isn't shot like a tourist destination. Instead, the camera captures rooftops, alleyways, empty stadiums, and dark streets. The city feels very tense, almost paranoid, and the film's pacing is very deliberate. It's building suspense before erupting in the sudden burst of violence. And that famous .44 Magnum, it became a symbol of Harry's philosophy. If the system won't stop the bad guys, he will. From the moment it released, Dirty Harry was very controversial. Critics argued that the film promoted vigilantism and glorified police brutality. Others saw it differently, as a reflection of public frustration during a chaotic time. That debate still follows the movie today. Is Harry Callahan a hero or a warning? The film never fully answers that question, and that is part of what keeps people talking about it more than 50 years later. At its core, Dirty Harry is about justice versus order, and Harry believes protecting innocent people is more important than following every rule. But the film also shows us the cost of that mindset. Harry's very isolated, very angry all the time, and very alone. He might win the fight, but he doesn't really win peace. And in the final moments of the film, when he throws his badge away, it feels like the ultimate question being asked. If justice requires becoming something darker, is it still justice? Whether you love it or hate it, Dirty Harry left a massive legacy. It spawned 4 sequels, influenced decades of action films, and helped shape the modern rogue cop archetype. Without Dirty Harry, you probably don't get characters like John McClane, Martin Riggs, or even modern antiheroes in crime dramas. The movie didn't just entertain certain audiences, it changed the tone of the action cinema. Dirty Harry is very raw, uncomfortable, and sometimes morally messy, but that's exactly what makes it powerful. It's a snapshot of a moment in American culture where fear, justice, and even authority were colliding in complicated ways. And through it all, it stands because Clint Eastwood is delivering one of the most iconic performances in film history. Alrighty, that is it for this week's Choco Cinema. Next Monday, we'll be diving into another Clint Eastwood classic, another film that helped define its genre. Until then, let me know in the comment section below, do you think Dirty Harry is a hero or something more complicated? Like, subscribe for more, and if you enjoyed the video, tune in for some more deep dives, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.